Israelites to mix with no other nations. And so we see, as you can go back and read, Solomon now is in rule after David. But watch all that wisdom that he had. He had one thing, amen, that watch angered the Most High about him. He still messed or mingled with, amen, other races of people. And notice, amen, it wasn't so much, I heard somebody say, he didn't want us to mingle with them because they didn't serve God. No, he told us not to mingle with them at all. And one other reason he with Solomon, he told him that, watch, you mingle with them, they will draw you from serving your God. And so the Most High was upset with him about that. Although now he's been promoted to be the king, right? He's promoted to be a king, but he's fallen in disobedience to a law. See, that was a law. No mixing. That was a law. That's why it's imperative for us to learn the laws of the Bible. Because watch, the Most High is not going to settle with me. He's not going to make no exemption with me, neither you, concerning something he's put a law on. Whatever he says not to do, don't do it, right? Because he says this, watch. If we be willing and compromise, we shall what? Thank you. If we be willing and what? Obedient, we shall what? Eat the good of the land. Obedience, that's a watch. That's something hard for a lot of people to follow, right? And so we see Solomon, watch. Not that he gave himself to one woman. Usually most of these are African nations here. That you just, the Moabites, the Sidonians, all those. He didn't just deal with one nation of women. He kept, and watch, this is the thing. Why do you think he kept going from one woman to the next woman to the next? You know why? Because guess what? Grace is in there, right? A lot of times we'll keep doing wrong and doing the wrong thing because we underestimate grace, right? We think that we're getting away with something. But the Most High give you a grace period, right? And that grace period is to get yourself right. But he, in his grace period, to stop doing what he was doing, he just kept adding foreign women and more foreign women and more foreign women. Amen. And a lot of times we can testify to the same thing, right? We didn't kept adding more lies, more of the wrong, because we see, watch, it says the Most High, he was angered with it. Go ahead on in verse 3 of them.
And he had 700 wives, princesses, and 300 concubines.
Lord have mercy.
And his wives turned away his heart.
They did what?
Turned away his heart.
Turned away his heart. We can speak on this in another topic. Is either whatever you connected to has the ability to turn you to God, away from God, or watch, you will be challenged by whoever you connect to, right? Either to draw close to the Lord or to pull away from him. But it says these foreign women caused him to do what?
Turn away his heart.
To turn away his heart. And you know, watch, there had to be some beautiful women. They turned away his heart, though. And look why he says his heart. Because it's with the mind that we serve the Most High. It's with the mind that we serve him. So anything you connect with, say, you sing or whatever, anybody you connect with, what it should be a mental, spiritual connection with what they'll draw you. It should be something that draws, not their body. It should be something that draws you from them. That spirit should draw you, make you want to draw closer to the Most High. You see? But it turned him. And this is the thing that we have to be careful of. When the Most High has promoted you and have promise over your life, we have to continually to be careful to abide by the commandments and the laws that he's given, to understand that when he exalts you, there's all kind of things that's going to come to test you, to see if you go compromise. And when you do compromise, guess what? We know that this, watch. Usually judgment don't happen right away, right? It just, watch. It's like the Most High, he continues to kind of send warning to you, right? To get it right, get it right, get it right. Then all of a sudden, boom. You see? So Solomon is the king over Israel. There is no northern kingdom. There is no southern kingdom at this particular time. Keep going.
Verse 4.
Mm-hmm.
For it came to pass,
mm-hmm.
when Solomon was old,
mm-hmm.
that his wives turned away his heart after other gods. And his heart was not perfect with YAHSHUA, his Elohim,
mm-hmm.
as was the heart of David, his father.
His heart was not perfect. In other words, walking in obedience to what the Most High said, like his David, David knew watching, and you say, well, David sinned. But when David sinned, he did what? He did get it right? And then return back unto that, right? Okay. And so it says that, notice what I want you to see is watch. It's the focus on the Most High and what he's saying. You see, the Most High is not caring about how much gold and silver and prestige that that he has allowed Solomon to be blessed with. All he's caring about is watch. Are you doing what I commanded you to do that has enabled you to have such things as this? Or will you forget about me and begin to be loose and go against what I told you? See, when the Most High promote you, it's really a time where you should draw closer. But we learn to draw closer when we're in trouble, right? No, really you should draw closer when you're getting promoted and things seem to be going well, because that is the greatest time for you to compromise. That is really sometimes the greatest time when prayer, I neglect prayer now. I neglect fasting now. I neglect spending time in meditation, because you can make the rewards of your labors your God, right? You can't do that, okay? All right, keep going, man.
Verse 5.
Mm-hmm.
For Solomon went after Ashtoreth, the goddess of the Zidonians, and after Milcom, the abomination of the Ammonites.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 6. And Solomon did evil in the sight of YAHSHUA, and went not fully after YAHSHUA, as David his father.
It said he did evil in the sight of who?
YAHSHUA.
Now watch. We see that it ain't that the Most High is in human form sitting there with Solomon, right? We know, the eyes of the Lord are everywhere, right? He neither sleeps, neither does he slumber. He looking at you and me everywhere we go. We're in the bathroom. He sees everything we do. The Bible says he even sees our thoughts as they're coming. He understands what's going on through your head, what's going on in my head, all the thoughts that we have right now. And so we're never out of the sight of the Lord. Whatever we do, we're in his sight. We're in his presence. Sometimes, and we have to be careful of this. Being in Christianity church, you'll think, his presence is, oh God, I can feel the goosebumps. No, when you're alive, you're always in his presence. And see, we don't think we're in his presence unless, that's his presence. No, we're always in his presence. You know that? Whether you're feeling happy or sad, joyful or remorseful, we're in his presence. Whether you like the sun or rain, we're in his presence at all times. We're always, in his eyesight, seeing everything, watching. And this is what he does. He carefully watches us to see if we will bring to pass or obey, better, for better words, what he has told us. That's what he watches to see what we're going to do with what he said. What are we going to do with what he said? And we see, watch, with all that wisdom, it seemed like Solomon began to take him, like a lot of us take him, don't really believe that he's real and what he says. But all we hear now, watch, the Most High is anger with him. Because you know why he's angry with him? Because guess what? He said, whenever the Most High promotes you, he sets you up to be a witness. He sets you up to be a light, a witness to others. Because he understands, watch, if you don't do what I tell you, and you go against what I tell you, then guess what? You begin to teach others to go against what I tell you, you see? But he set us up to be a witness where, watch, what's on me, it goes down. What's on you goes down and teaches others. But if I begin to go out of his will, somebody catch on to what I'm doing and think that's okay too. I can do it. I can do it too. And so that's not the will of the Lord. So he knows, watch, every seed begot seed after what? Itself, right? So if I'm carrying the seed of the Most High and I'm doing it, watch, seed go begot seed, right? So that's why he gets upset, because now watch, what you're demonstrating is a tainted seed to my nation. And then we go see how the nation go take on some of these characteristics, you see? That's why he tells us to train up our children in the way that they should go. That's why we have to be trained up in the word. So watch, we don't give them a tainted seed, right? And they begin to think they can act out in any kind of way or have any, type of actions that are outside of what the Most High will have them to have. Go ahead on, man.
Verse 7. Then did Solomon build a high place for Chemosh, the abomination of Moab, in the hill that is before Jerusalem, and for Molech, abomination of the children of Ammon.
See, he's what? He done got so his blessings have got him blinded. His success got him blinded. He's building idol gods that are abominable unto the Most High. See how you see the things of this world can blind you? Well, if God didn't like it, why I'm still being blessed? That's the trick of the enemy. Watch this. Like the churches today. One thing about an Antichrist spirit is this. It is what it is, right? It imitates. Like there are like two messiahs being teach. One church teaches you can do anything, right? And watch, they're using some of the same scriptures, right? But then they tell you can go do this, that, and the other. You eat pork, you can do all kinds. You can go and have all, just all you gotta do is believe. You don't have to keep no commandments. Just believe. But watch, what they do is they give you some of the scriptures, but they don't give you all of them, right? Then you go to other churches, we know the book say, this is what you have to do in this area, this is what you, and see, that's what's going on now with here, Solomon, he's still giving to Israel, some of the promises of God, but guess what? He's also appeasing the other people that he's connected with, right? No, everybody have to fall up under the law. Everybody. And so that's where, watch, the biggest deception is going on in these churches. They think that, watch, they're teaching, but watch, they're giving part of the Bible, watch, but then canceling out the other parts. That's the Antichrist spirit. Surely, the Most High does know the day that you eat thereof, you will be just like, you see? He gives you part. The devil always gives you part. His children, humans. That's what he uses, humans. They always give you part. They never come out so evil. It sounds just like God, right? Antichrist. Come out as a Christ, but watch, that they're things that, watch, they're against. But they'll give you so much to get you bought in, right? Okay. Like the Israelites are bought into Solomon. Somebody should have stood up and said, hey, we know that you're the king, but you off, man. You got us serving all these other gods, but watch. You can never have so much respect for a person in position and they're outside of the will of God. You hear what I'm saying? Preacher, prophet, apostle, no matter who they are, teacher, evangelist, president, black, white, because in this day and age, what, long as somebody black and successful, they committed many sins as they want. Same with the white folks, long as they white and I love Jesus, they can commit many sins as they want. So everything got to be by the book, you see? Go ahead on, man.
Verse 8. And likewise did he for all his strange wives, which burnt incense and sacrificed unto their gods.
So we see Solomon had a weakness to what? Women. And watch, you see where he was weak at, it was multiplied at. It's imperative to find him in the place where you compromise the most at. Because that's the door that the enemy continues to come in at. You see? You have to know it. You have to know it. The way I'm so easy, well, I know I should, but still, come on in. Come on. I know. Yeah, come on. Hurry. Cover it up. Don't let them see it. Your compromise is a place where you hide. Cover it. Delete. But that's the place where it's multiplied, man. How many say